Hi everyone. I'm so sorry. My network cut me out. And for some reasons we just had to like end this. So this is like the continuation of this is the continuation of the previous live. So we had started and we will just continue from here. So sorry. My network cut
All
me
right.
out. Yeah.
Wow,
Thank
wow, wow. Sorry,
I
sorry.
hope that people
No
will be
problem.
able to like find this. Yeah, I mean, let's just continue. That was like really eye opening. In all my years of being an entrepreneur, yes, some things I quite understand, but you have never had to like really sit down to think about things in this perspective. One thing that you said about people not even like entrepreneurs, you're working around the clock. When was the last time you went for checkup? Like, just to even check your vitals, you know. I think it was in my son's school recently. They had to like do the whole vital thing test for us. So when I got seated, the man was like, "Oh, when was the last time you did it?" I had to look at that like, "Oh, I do my stuff like." She was like, "Oh, okay, true." So we actually just neglect like all of these things. I will just allow you continue. The thing is that people
Uh,
now have people now have that link that has ended. Oof.
but we can still send that. I think you can put it on. You can try to send it out again. I sent it. I put
Uh,
the new link. I put it out on my. Maybe you should just send that to
okay, let
people.
me let me do that. I just
Yeah,
hope
so
I
that at least they
pulled
can
out.
join.
Okay, so yeah,
Yeah, but
yeah, I'm
okay.
back. Thank you.
Yeah, all right. Yeah, so if you're just joining us, well, we've talked about a lot of things. We talked about health, what health is, we talked about who a solopreneur is, we look at the strengths and the weaknesses of solopreneurs, and how these strengths and weaknesses contributes to their health. That's the good or the bad, So we have looked at the statistics and we've seen that a lot of entrepreneurs are not living healthy, both mentally, physically, and even socially. And we've highlighted some of the problems. We've seen financial problems that cause, some of the challenges that we have. We've seen relationship problems, and we've seen the workload. It's one of the most challenging things that that you can really embark on, and you better be sure. So I said, okay, what we want to do, the first thing you want to do is define your values before you enter into business. And if you already entered into business, that's not a problem. You can still define them, and even you can define them better now because you're already in the field, you've already started working, you've seen what works, you've seen how some of the things that are important to you now. So define your values. Um, so now, and another thing I would say now is that you, as a business person, one of the things that you want to do is to learn about um, financial education, get some financial education. As I said one of the top cause of mental health issues for many entrepreneurs, solopreneurs, is financial problems. So you run out of money, money is not enough, you are owing a lot of people. Learn that, to get good financial education. That's very important because if you have that, you have a higher chance of avoiding that financial crisis. There's the pressure of finances that comes on every solopreneur, every entrepreneur. That's normal, especially when you're running a business from the scratch. You don't have anybody anywhere. You're just starting on your own. Even if you have investors that invest in your business, it's still some kind of pressure for you to make sure you don't lose their money. Nobody wants to lose their money, you know. So that is very, very important. To get some good financial education. It's part of health. Remember, I said health is not just it's not just the absence of disease or infirmity. It's about being mentally, socially, and physically healthy. So that's your mental aspect now. Get some good financial education. It will help you in the long run, you know. And then number three is that understand signs and symptoms. Understand some symptoms, or I'm say symptoms now. Symptoms when your body is trying to speak to you, when your body is trying to tell you, don't wait until it becomes so critical. And sometimes people don't know this, people don't understand this. I've had clients that will come to the, I say clients, patients that will come to the, I say clients, patients that will come to the hospital and will say that I've been experiencing this particular pain in my chest. Treatment. I've been experiencing this particular pain in my chest has been coming, you know, and they describe it in such a way that, it's a heart condition, a serious one that could have been avoided. But many times they don't do anything about it. They just keep managing it, or they talk about how they're always feeling tired, always feeling tired. Once they walk a little bit, they're tired. They walk a little bit, they're tired. Things they used to do before, they can't do them again. And now these are things that the body is trying to give them signs that look, something is going on here. But paying attention to those things. So understand signs and symptoms of some of these things. Um, and I would just probably just rule out a few. So just to help us, the most common, by the way, the most common mental health condition in quote now, I'll clarify that now that people talk about is burnout among entrepreneurs. Now, burnout is not ICD-11, International Classification of Diseases. That's like a big journal of diseases. It's not does not call it a disease now. It just calls it one of the factors that can affect health. So burnout isn't like a disease like malaria or something, but it's the factor that can eventually affect the health of the person or leads to disease. That's the ICD classification, ICD-11. Now, so burnout is just a syndrome that results from chronic stress, usually from the workplace, and that has not been successfully managed. And usually person complains of feelings of energy depletion, increased mental distance. You don't want to go to the job, or when you are there, you are not as productive as you used to be. You're not as efficient as you used to be. And usually, many people don't start out like this. So, since burnout is one of the major causes, I'll just talk about it briefly. When people say, I'm burnt out, experiencing burnout. What's the meaning of burnout? When you ask them what's the real definition of burnout, they just know, maybe I'm very tired. No, you don't just say I'm very tired. As burnout is a chronic syndrome. It's something that has been happening consistently over time. So the person has been, and usually it's like the end result. The person will start out, normally you're going to work, you're having a business, you're running your business, and over time you notice that you are not deriving as much pleasure as you used to derive from it when you go to when you go to when you go to work, or when you're at your business place, you are feeling down, you're not as efficient as you used to be. And every day it's like you are becoming more overwhelmed with what's going on. You are becoming not you're not in the space you should be. The point where you're just there, you are stressed out, you are tired. Every day is just the same cycle. You're not doing well, your business, you're not doing it the way you should do. So it's a chronic condition there. So and usually the end product eventually is you are start having anxiety, you start having depression, and those are diseases now because depression is a disease, it's a sickness, and usually there are three things we always talk about. We talk about low energy levels. We talk about reduced energy, low energy levels, loss of interest in previously interested activities. Those are three major signs to look out for in depression. The other things, loss of appetite, loss of sleep, you know, um, withdrawing from relationships, isolation, a lot of you know, interesting, three important signs that we look out for. So burnout can lead to any of these things, can lead to anxiety. So anxiety is also like a chronic state. All of us get anxious one time or the other. I mean, like, you have an exam, you're thinking, or you have a presentation, you have something that is demanding. That's normal. But for people that have a general anxiety disorder now, that have a disorder, they are always anxious. By the time they spend relaxed, it's much lesser than the time they spend being worked up or being anxious. So it's from one thing to another. And they're always anxious about things that are not tangible. Many things, you cannot pick a definite, like if you have an exam now and you're anxious, I understand that. But you can't pick a definite thing. It's just a lot of things. You're always thinking this one go wrong, this one might go wrong. A lot of things like that. So usually, and I said the most common cause of mental disorder among entrepreneurs is burnout. Yeah, we have burnout, we have anxiety, and we have depression. So those three are usually common that we see among. So, and it's not just the mental health aspect. So I just picked on those three because I said they're very common, and many times they are subtle. They're very subtle. And unfortunately, if your relationships are not so strong, you might have no one to tell you that something is going on with you. If you are not living with somebody, you're on your own. You come home, you lie down, you press your laptop, see a movie, you go back to work. You're continuing that cycle. It might take very, it might take a while before people start noticing. Maybe your coworkers around start noticing that this guy is not the way he used to be. And so that's why I'm trying to talk about the signs. Once you notice some of these things, you're not the way you used to be. Especially after a long period of time, over a period of time, talking 3 months, 6 months, the same cycle, then actually you should not wait till then. You should seek help before then. That's my honest counsel. You should seek help before then. So I just went out of that just to explain those three that are very common. Now, so other signs to look out for physically now. Um, you are working, you are experiencing tiredness. Now, tiredness from normally you used to climb a flight of stairs, 3 story, but now once you walk from your house to the gate or you walk from your office to the gate, you are feeling very tired. This is really more common among now. Because they don't usually have more heart conditions and all, middle age elderly, but young, number one. And number two, many of these over a period of time. Some of these disease processes have been over months and years, and they have been working on it. So someone is coming, it's not happening, it's not able to breathe well, it's not breathing well, it's not able to do what he used to do, is feeling very weak, then you should see a doctor. You should see a doctor. So we should pay attention to our health and other signs that we should look out for. The eyes too. A lot of us spend time on screens these days. So you're having excessive watching, your eyes are watching excessively. Because you stare at screen for long and you don't pay attention to the fact that you need anti-glare, you need uh all these other photochromic, all these things that are important to eliminate glare and protect your eyes. If your business involves you looking at screens a lot, then you should pay attention to this. So don't wait. So if you're already having stuff like your eyes are watering incessantly, you're having that kind of symptom, see a you can see an optician or optometrist so that they can also help with that. Or maybe you're not having clarity in your vision and all of that. You should also see that. So some other signs to look out for. So talk about fatigue in your activities, and then maybe you have a pain somewhere in your body. Don't live with it. Don't just keep neglecting it. Pay attention to it. I know that thing is a very. I mean, we are living life on a very fast, fast pace. I always thinking, making decisions, doing this. Sometimes your body is telling you stuff, but you're not listening because you just don't pay attention. It will go. It will go. The pain is there 1 day, 2 day, 3 days, a week. Oh, come on, check it out. Check it out. What's going on here? You have to do a scan. You have to say, doctor, check it out. Don't wait for things. We can do better. We can catch cases faster. We can deal with things and live healthier lives if we pay attention to our health. And then, okay, as business people, there are basic things you should have in your house. You should have a sphygmometer, a sphygmanometer now to check your blood pressure. There are lots of automatic ones these days. There are no automatic ones. Just place it and it will read it for you. Check it. The normal blood pressure an adult is 120/80, 120/80 FMHT. Now there are variations, but that's usually what you expect from adults. So if you see 130, 140, now it doesn't mean that you're hypertensive yet. There are there are grades for these things, which I will not bother to go into on this program. However, you can see a doctor, complain, especially when you notice it's constant. It's not only these days we are seeing a lot of young people come down with many of these diseases. Of course, there's a lot of arguments about, there's a part of your, biology, that's genetics, and then there's also the lifestyle that you live, the kind of lifestyle you live, and all of that. Yes, that's there. But the most important thing is that check these things. Now, it's not something to be anxious about and like, oh my God, my blood pressure is high, and I'm like, checking it every minute or something. No, no, no. I mean, have any you don't have any issues, you've never had any hypertension or any of these things before, then check it when you wake up in the morning. You can check it, and check it once, twice a week, depending. Once you notice that, but if you notice any readings abnormal, then maybe check it again after 4 or 6 hours. Check it, look at it again, then you can see a doctor. She can have that. These are important things to have around, so that, I mean, you're a business person, so at least buy it, just put it at home. It's important, it's important. And then other things to also look out for, if you observe that maybe, okay, now dieting is a major issue, very major one. I think that that's one major thing that affects the health of people. Apart from generally speaking, now, you know, uh, entrepreneurs, uh, a lot of people don't eat well. Now, to combat that, if you know that, okay, this is kind of life I live, get someone that cooks and have a control routine. If you know that, oh, I'm so busy, I don't have that, I don't have time for that. And make sure the person is cooking so many balanced diet as much as possible. Avoid or limit processed food. Limit processed food. It's possible. It is very possible. It's just that you have to be deliberate about it. You have to just be very deliberate about it. Buy fruits. Buy fruits at home. Watermelons here, carrots here. Entrepreneurs, especially if you are working online a lot, there's this tendency to want to always be chewing something, eating something, on the go. You want something to make sure it's not sweet you're buying. Make sure it's not sweet. Make sure you can get their fruits you can buy. The almonds here and there are granules are here. Buy stuff like that. Carrots are here. Buy fruits like that. So instead of now, number one, those things are filling. Number two, they are not going to be as harmful as you are. Be harmful like when you're taking sweets and all those things. These are little tips here. Buy those things in your house. So instead of buying sweets and gum and all those things, those fruits will help to fill up those things, and you're eating something natural. You're also getting good nutrients, and at the same time, you're preventing yourself from getting, all those processed things. So get all those things. These are things that can help. That can help there. Pay attention to your diet. Buy stuff. Since you're entrepreneurs I'm a very busy person too, so it's difficult to buy things in bulk. Buy your fish, buy your meat, put them inside your freezer and let them cook. Maybe on Saturday or Sunday you have some spare time, make soup or something. I say if you can't do this, you can get a chef. But if you can do that, then create time for it. Do it. I know that okay, throughout the week, I have something to eat. So I will not be running up and down. I will not be just eating anything anyhow. It should be deliberate about your eating. I think we should be deliberate about our eating because it's important. It's important. And then exercise. Now, I say when you talk to many businessmen, they tell you that I run around, I always do this, I'm always all over the place. But that mean that you are exercising. That does not mean that you're exercising. So it's very important actually for you to have some level of to have good exercise now. And when we're talking about exercise, it's not something, um it's not something so bogus, something so big like that. It's something simple. Walking. WHO has some guidelines for that. There's what we call high intensity exercise. There's moderate, and then usually the high intensity exercises they're talking about running, jogging, intense activity like that, weightlifting. WHO recommends about 1.5 hours in a week of high intensity exercises, and that's reasonable. If it's going to be moderate intensity, it's about 2.5 hours. It's to the oh, I'm running around. Don't no 30 minutes is not too much. If you are now moderate intensity exercise are stuff like walking, you're taking a walk. So deliberately create 30 minutes to take a walk. It's not bad. If it's, you want to jog, you want to do some high intensity. So it's not so difficult. It's just that we have to be intentional about it. And I'll tell you, in the long run, these things add up. They always add up. They always add up. It's a typical case in the hospital. 40, 50-year-old businessman is coming down with hypertension, it's coming down with diabetes, it's coming down with heart failure. Why? He doesn't pay attention to his health. It's his wife that brought him to the hospital. And his wife forced him to the hospital after she noticed that this man was breathing heavily at night. Because left to him, the man will still say, "Don't worry, I'll just rest." That's what he's going to say. These are typical scenarios that we have. And usually these things start when they are young. You started this unhealthy lifestyle, doing all manner of things, and they don't pay attention to them until when they are 40, 50. I mean, and the painful thing is that whatever business you are building, usually at that 40, 50, enjoy your proceeds. So why would you want to start money on treatment and no, it doesn't make a lot of sense. It's very painful. I'm telling you, the hospital, I see this a lot. They have labored a lot, and now it's like it's time for them to at least start enjoying some of the proceeds. But now they start spending a lot of money on dialysis because they have destroyed their kidney with all manner of things. Yeah, they have taken a lot of things. So I think that we can cultivate all those habits now. Get a gym. If there's no gym around you, I've said it's not recommend. The WHO does not say that you should become a six-pack person or become a weightlifter because you want to keep fit. It's simple. Moderate exercises are like walking, taking a walk, 30 minutes every day, 5 days. You are good in a week. You are talking about high intensity, 1.5 hours in a week. That's like jogging, the whole running, cardio, and all that. Great stuff, great stuff. So very, very important things. I said because as young people, I think one of the most important things is just the fact that whatever you are doing now, you are building, you are building something that will eventually come to repeat in the future. Then you have to always pay attention to that, you know. And then okay, and then I think I should go into close now. Yeah. I'll just feel like I have a lot of things here. I'll just try just talk
Yeah,
about
so
one or
okay, I
two.
mean, just to cut you, we'll
Okay.
probably have to do like a part two to this because I know that there's so much to say. I can see that you're actually trying to like rush things. So, I mean, even if it's just for us to close on one thing because we have to like go right now, I mean, like very soon,
Yeah.
let's just close on that one thing and then we'll probably
Okay.
do this again because I mean, I've written down like so many things here. Let's talk about diet, let's talk about exercise. And the key thing that you're just concluding on right now about how that the time where you're supposed to be reaping what you've labored for, the fruit of your labor, like you're now falling
Yes.
sick, you can't enjoy it because you
Yeah. Yeah.
neglected your thing. One thing again
Yeah.
that maybe when you're done, I'll just close with this. So yes, so let me just
Oh,
allow you to
okay.
wrap
So
up. Thank you to
okay. So let,
everyone
let
who
me just
is
wrap up with
still
this.
on. I hope you guys are having a great time. Thank you.
Okay. So okay. I'll wrap up with this. I'll just get very give few more points, two or three more points now. One is that I'll just reel them out. Um, we talked about the fact that you have to one of the problems that you know that we have business people is taking on more than you can, taking on more than you can handle. So know your limits and and work with those limits. Don't try to overstretch them until you have more capacity, maybe more hands, more people you are working with that can deliver those things. It's very important. Always know your limits. Yes, man, you should know your limits. You should know what I can deliver, what I cannot deliver, how long it takes me to deliver. Know your limits and work with those limits. It's very important. So working with those limits doesn't mean you are going to limit yourself. It just means that you know that this beyond this. If I want to go beyond this and I need more capacity, so maybe I need to get more people to help me. So that's the way to know that you are saying you are limiting your business or something. No, but know that this is what I can deliver now at this stage I am. If I need to deliver more, I'm going to so that you don't overwork yourself and get yourself to a point where your body breaks down. Then also seek to establish systems. I think one of the things that Mr. Adeswa spoke about now is the fact that when she started her business and there was no structure, it was not easy at all. Seek to establish systems. One of the things that creatives are the of thinking that nobody can do it the way I would do it. I want to have my own flair. It's not true. It's not true. You can teach people and let them
Train
express
people.
their own
Yeah.
creativity.
Yeah.
Yes, you can train people, and you'll be surprised. You'll be amazed that what
They
you
will
thought
do
was
better
impossible,
than
they would
you.
do. Amazing, yes. So let just train people to do it. Let them do it, and then relax, step back a bit. Because I said, if you keep trying to do it, you will limit your capacity, and if you try to stretch yourself, you might break. And then finally, the what I would conclude on is what Mr. Lisa spoke about. Is that always remember that you are sowing seeds. In whatever you're doing, your body, you are working in your business. Because the goal of your business is, oh, I want to invest my business now so that eventually I'll reap a harvest of making money and profits. The same way, you're also doing that with your body. I have a friend, an older friend that in his fifties, he came to me, was complaining about a very serious pain on the left side of his body, very serious pain, and it was we were very bothered about it. We ran all manner of tests. We were thinking, is it cancer? Is it this? Eventually, we found out that it was not. It was a skeletal issue. A skeletal issue. Why? In his 20s and his 30s, he reads a lot. So he was always reading on one side when he lies down on his bed, he was always on that side. When he was reading, he was writing for hours. And it could go on for days, hours, reading on that one side. And so when he was in his 50s, it became a serious problem for him. Because that side, he had trained that side a lot. Of course, now with exercising, with therapy, you can correct that, but it took a while. It took a while. And that's something that could have been really avoided. So as a young person, all those things, get a good chair, for instance. You sit down with them, get a good chair. Don't sit down and say that I can't. If I can't, for you just sit on one plastic chair for hours. Your back, oh god. So by the time you are 40, 50, then you know your spine, you are coming down with all manner of things. Your spine is straightened and all that. So please, it's very important that let's remember that as we are, we should sow as we are sowing into our business. Let's sow seeds, good seeds into our health. You know,
It is
let's sow
an
seeds
healthy
of
man that runs businesses. I always
yes,
say
the other
this.
one that was it. The
If
other one that was
if
exactly.
you're not healthy,
So
you don't have a business. And the worst part of things is that you need to start cultivating the habit of taking care of your health so that this business can actually pay you in return when it's time. I mean, like, you begin to reap the dividends of the things that you have built. We need to go. We need to go. We need to go.
yeah,
Lastly,
it's
let's
all right,
just
it's
end
all
on this.
right.
Thank you so much, Dr. Testimony. I wanted you to introduce
Yeah.
yourself, who you are, what you do. But I'm just going to close on this. Guys, you need to learn to take breaks. I mean, I didn't used to do this. A lot of people still see me say, you do a lot of things. Are you sure you rest and things like that? See, I told myself now next week Monday on my to do, what's it called? Is take a break. Is there? Take a break. So we don't put in off days into our system. We feel like, and that's part of what structure and systems will do. Guys, we'll talk so much more about this, in the next webinar. If you'd love to see more, um videos like this, you want us to do more of things like this, please let us know in the chat box, wherever, anywhere you find this. So yeah, please just introduce yourself and then let us run. Yeah. I can't hear you. I think your mic is muted. Okay.
All right, thank you so much. Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much. Did you say something?
Yeah. So I was saying that please just quickly introduce yourself so that.
Oh, okay. I'm Dr. Oladre Testament. I'm a medical doctor. I'm also an SEO expert. I'm into content writing, content development, and I also have a writing company where we take on content just for clients and help people with their SEO, basically. And a freelancer
It's
too,
very
a freelance
fantastic
content
at
writer.
what it does. Where can people find you? Your social
You
media.
can find me on LinkedIn.
Okay.
In every other social media, I'm not, I don't do so, but
He's
LinkedIn,
a very smart
yes. If you
person.
have my number.
So yes, testimony Olajire on LinkedIn.
uh,
You can find him there. Thank you all for staying till the end. Thank you for those of you who come back to watch the replay. I want to say a very big thank you. I will see you in the next one. Bye.
Thank you. Bye bye.